Afternoon with KSI Press from Kris Vereen, who returns to action this Saturday at Beat 2 Series Fighting 174. Kris, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Just getting this weight off me, getting ready.
Awesome, man. 5 days out. How are you feeling?
Uh, I feel good. The roller coaster of nerves you go through before fights, and just ready to get this weight off and just go do what I do.
I mean, how is the weight coming off?
It's going good. Kind of started my weight cut a couple of days ago, but it comes off fast, man. I never really just eat too bad, so I'm always on weight, always ready to go.
Awesome, awesome. Before we get to your fight, I wanted to go back to your fight in May. It's been 3 months. How did you feel about that performance?
Um, I mean, I got the win. I guess that's all you can really ask for, but I wasn't content with it. I feel like, I'm a better fighter than that, but we accepted that fight on like a couple days no like, I mean maybe like a week notice. So um for to take a week notice fight like that and come out with a win like that, it was okay, but I'm definitely not content. Could do way better.
Did you go back and watch that fight?
Yeah, I went back and watched it a couple times. I kind of don't like going back and watching my fights. I don't know why I'm a weirdo like that.
No, you're not the only one that has said that. Yeah, I went back and watched it a couple days ago, and the commentators were like, "That's the worst stoppage of all time. That's the worst stoppage of all time." I'm like, what did you think of the stoppage looking back at it?
Yeah. Well, when it happened, I was kind of like, I kind of felt like it was a little bit early, but it would have ended the same way. A couple more seconds, just more damage on his behalf. But it is what it is. So I mean, I felt the ref come between, I was kind of like, but I can't complain. I'm not gonna argue with the ref about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Um, for anybody that does not know your story, how did you get into mixed martial arts?
So I played collegiate football at a Division II in Ada, Oklahoma, East Central University, and I did fairly well. Came out good, and after that, I played a little pro ball. And business is business. I ended up getting cut, man, and I don't know. I just didn't like the politics side of the football game. So I was working at Chili's Bar and Grill. I was a bartender there, and one of the guys I was working with by the name of Kelvin Rayford, he's actually a pro fighter as well, signed in the Bellator. He came into work and he was like wearing like this red gi type of thing, and I thought it was funny. So I kind of made fun of him, and then we just laughed about it. But he actually was doing judo at the time, so he was like, "Man, come try judo." And I mean, I was just kind of like, "Oh, whatever." Like I was like 215 pounds then, and he was like, "Man, just come try, just come try." So I did it, and like I remember, dude, it was humbling. I remember the warm ups of judo. I was tired like the first two, so I was tired within the first 3 minutes, and then I don't know, it just kind of stuck with me. Um, I thought I was gonna play more football, but I didn't get picked up anywhere after that, and then I don't know. It just kind of I just kept training and training. Did my first tournament, did my first fight, and I was like, all right, I'll just see how far this goes, and here I am now.
Awesome, man. I actually talked to a football player turned fighter last week, and I always find it fascinating, man. Like, playing football your entire life, and then you don't make it to the NFL. Like, what are the emotions like?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of it. It sucks, honestly, but it's kind of one of them things, man. Like you just got to deal with it, man. It's hard, man. Make the little bit that I experienced making it to the NFL, trying to make it to the NFL was so tough, man. It's so political, especially coming from a smaller school versus some of these big D1 schools. Obviously, I feel like if I would have went to a Division I, then things would have been different. But I guess, I mean, God had different plans for me, I guess.
And I ask every football player turned fighter, why do you think it is that football players turn to fighting so often? Like you rarely see basketball players fight. You rarely see baseball players come over and fight. It's mainly football players. Like, why is that?
Man, it's just the aggression side of things, man. I mean, definitely not proud to say this, but most collegiate football players, I mean, we're used to fighting at parties and going to bars and, being football players. So it's kind of like one of them things, just used to fighting. Kind of the same thing as wrestling. Most wrestlers are troublemakers, collegiate wrestlers, and they go to MMA. So it's like one of them things that just kind of like in our blood, I guess.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Awesome. Oh, cool. Thank you for sharing your story, man. All right. So another main event. Floyd Jones.
Hmm.
What do you think of the matchup?
I like the matchup, man. He's tough. He's from Michigan. He trains with some good people. With him being from Michigan, he has that wrestling background. If you're involved in MMA or anything like that, Michigan's pretty high on wrestling. I think he's a brown belt or purple belt in jiu-jitsu, so that'll mix well. And he's got some good striking on him. So he's gonna look to mix it all up, and that's what I like. I feel like trying to make it to the next level, you need fights like this, man. You need good opportunities. You need those kind of fights that he could potentially give me my first loss.
Mm, mm.
But other than that, man, I'm excited about it, and I'm ready to showcase what I've been working on and ready to show a new version of me.
Yeah. Like, do you feel that this is the perfect next step in your career?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think competition keeps going up for me, and if I, which I do want to get to the UFC, it's no more easy fights. It's not, and I don't know. I feel like I've accepted a lot of fights, but fights always fall through for me. So I don't know. I've never really turned down fights at all. I've always accepted fights. I've fought in all American wrestlers, collegiate wrestlers. I fought in boxers. It is what it is. But it's just one of those fights, man. When you want to make it to the next level, you just got to accept what you're getting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another main event. How's that feel?
I don't know, man. I'm 50-50 about it. Like, I like the main event spot, but like pretty much since I started fighting my pro debut, I was co-main event. I've pretty much been main event, co-main event all of my fights, except maybe once. And it felt good to actually fight and then go watch people fight. So I don't know, feels good.
You kind of talk about like the nerves on top, like up top. Do you feel nerves being the main event at all, or not really?
Not really. I mean, it leads up, it builds up to stuff. I mean, you're kind of in the back. You go through like adrenaline rushes. You're like, girl, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight, but I got a couple more fights. Then you just like everything builds up. You go through this roller coaster of stuff and just up, down. And then by time you're ready to go, you're just like, damn, am I really ready? So it's a bunch, but as long as when you step in that cage, you know what time it is. I think that's all that matters.
This Saturday, how do you get your hand raised?
Um, I don't know. I've thought about this fight ever since we pretty much accepted it. Actually, I didn't even know anything about Floyd Jones. As soon as they sent me the name, they were like, "This guy's interested." I was like, "All right, send the contract." And then I guess he got back to him in a couple of days to accept. And then I didn't even still didn't watch this film. I just told my coaches like, "Hey, this is who we're fighting." But to answer your question, like, I don't know, man. He's this guy's tough, man. He can wrestle. He can do jujitsu. He'll stand and bang. Most of his wins are decisions, so he's durable. He's tough. So I don't know, man. I can't give you an answer, but it's one of them things. Either log on the pay-per-view and get it, or tune into the fights to find out.
Um,
It builds some suspense. I like it.
you do have a 100% finish rate. Firstly, how important is that to keep that? And I mean, are you looking to continue that streak?
Absolutely. We're always looking to, keep that rate going. Yeah. If I said, no, we're not, that'd be lying. I mean, yeah. Anybody that goes in that cage, man, we don't get paid by the hour, dude. We don't get paid by the hour. We got to go in there and try to get to the next fight as soon as we can to stay active. Um, I really want to stay active. I actually have a daughter due October 25th. So I pray I come out healthy this fight and hopefully can make a fast turnaround, short notice call after this contender. I don't know, but I think it's very important that we try our best to get another finish, and that'll put me 7-0 all finishes. So that's always the plan going in there.
Congratulations on the new baby
Thank
on
you.
the way. And yeah, and finally, like that's what I was going to ask you. You know, not looking past your opponent at all, but say you get out unscathed, there are, I think, 4 or 5 more slots on the contender series this season. Are you looking to get a call?
I absolutely. I'm looking to get a call. My one of my teammates just got a call last week. He'll be fighting September 13th. Malik Lewis. Check that guy out. He'll be fighting. I don't see him losing. I see him getting a contract. If you know Malik, then you know. If you watched him, then you completely understand what I'm saying. But so he's paving the way for the rest of the fighters out of our camp. He's definitely paving the way. So um, I'm hoping to get that call, or short notice or anything of that nature. But at the end of the day, um, I got to handle business August 27th first.
Gotcha. Yeah, and Malik is a fucking savage. So
He really is. Yeah. Me and that guy, like sparring him is like a real life fight, bro.
Bro,
It's legit a fight.
I would pay money for the I would pay money to watch that.
Bro, it's entertaining. I promise you.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time, Kris. I really
Yes, sir.
appreciate it, man. If you want to plug your social media, plug any sponsors you might have, you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
Absolutely, man. First, I want to thank you for having me, taking time out of your day, man. Uh, Shout out to my fiance. Shout out to all of my teammates, my Spartan Fit fam, um, all my family, all my supporters, man. My strength coach, all my coaches, everybody that's had a part of my career at this point in time. I'm excited. I thank you all, guys. All of my sponsors, guys. A lot of my training couldn't be done without these guys. Um, so thank you to each and every one of them. My management team, Iridium Sports, Jason House. I thank you guys so much. So um, this is Sophia. She's a little cranky today. She started school last week. But thank you to everybody, man. I'm gonna do everything in my power to walk away with my hand raised August 27th.